Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brand Risk Podcast. Today we have the guest here, Evade Hantao is what he goes by. Sometimes people like to call him Hantao. He's hopped around from org to org almost as much as that lady you saw on the side of Hollywood Boulevard. I
know you were waiting. You were literally like trying to find something funny to say. And you're like, this is the brand.
No, on a serious note, Hantao started off with Chronic, I believe, right? Moved to Evade after that split, and then now he completely manages Team Overtime. So, we got him on here to hear the back ends, and also he's the reason you can see all my pores today because of this camera. So, welcome, Hantao.
Thank you.
What's up? So what? My first question is, what inspired the name Hentai? Why'd you pick that as your name?
I want to blame my parents. It actually means vast ocean in Chinese.
Oh, so the tentacles make sense.
Hentai means that's crazy.
And my dad actually went to like this city in China that's by the ocean, and he saw the ocean. He's like, oh my god, I fucking love the water. So he named myself and my brother after the water.
Oh, so you're both named the same thing.
No, him is Hentai.
Okay, because I have a neighbor, and all three of them are named Jong, like Jong-sun.
But their second letters are different.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's probably different. It's probably different in Korean, I think, is what they are.
Yeah.
Are you Korean?
I'm Chinese.
You're Chinese.
No,
okay.
I'm Chinese. It's like similar though. You use the same like name for all the siblings.
Right.
But there's a different character. Yeah.
But
the last thing was like the first. What's your brother's name then?
It's Haitao.
Oh, interesting. So your actual name's Hantao.
No, it's Hentai.
Nice. So the question everyone's gonna ask: do you jerk off to hentai?
No.
Okay. You don't have to lie, dude. We're all.
I want to know.
Cool.
I want to know about your background, Hantao. Like, what? Did you go to college? I assume you did. You got Asian parents, so you probably would be dead by now if you didn't go to college. And how did that go, and why'd you turn into esports?
Yeah. So I went to University of British Columbia. It's ranked 30th in the world. Asian parents, that's very important to them. The university ranking,
of course.
And then I joined the science program. I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna be a doctor and try to do med school. And then I failed my first chemistry test midterm. It was my first midterm ever, and I was like, oh fuck. And then I graduated with a honors degree in chemistry, did some research, and I was like, I don't want to do a fucking 9-to-5 job. So I just took a chance and did esports, even though I was being paid like ass for the first couple of years.
It worked. Congrats.
That's how esports is, man. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, but it's kind of like any business, to be honest, that you start. Like, you lose money for the first few years. In esports, it's kind of easier, I think. You're just not making money for the first few years. You're not really losing money, but you're just not making money. If you're starting a team, I guess like you did, you were probably losing money too. People don't realize that you have to do that shit. Like, I didn't make a single fucking dime for my first 2.5 years.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, and then now I make fucking 6 figures a month. I make $1 million. Wait, that's 7 figures. Same thing. I'm just
imagine.
So how did that like how did you get into esports?
I was running the college esports club because my parents were like, you need volunteer hours to get into med school. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to volunteer at some hospital or like some political or some other club that's boring. So I was like, okay, why not volunteer at a gaming club? I did volunteer at a science club, by the way, just for the sake of having.
Just in case your parents are watching.
Yeah, and they're like, "What did you do with your life?" And then I basically started working my way up. The first year, it was only StarCraft at that time, and I stopped playing StarCraft because my hard drive melted.
Were you good at StarCraft?
Yes, of course.
Like what?
Why? Of course.
Because I'm Asian. What?
what what percentage would you say you are at StarCraft? I don't know StarCraft ranks, but like League of Legends ranking wise, or CS:GO, whatever.
On StarCraft, I was like Diamond something,
Okay.
and on League, I think I got highest was Diamond 4
Nice.
on League. But yeah, I started playing League of Legends after StarCraft because I actually played a custom game on StarCraft that was like Defense of the Ancients because they brought it over from Warcraft to make a custom game. And my friend, who actually played pro League of Legends after, he was like, "Yo, you should try out this game called League," and it was still in beta. And I just tried it out. I liked it. I put in a lot of hours, and I started playing that instead. So I left the club, and then I came back the next year. I was like, "Oh, they have League of Legends now," and I was like, "Oh, I fucking hate them how the club is ran, how the management is," because I was basically just a lackey. I just like moved boxes around, carried shit for events, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this." You know, there's no value for me.
Yeah.
Working and getting hours for this, and I left. And then the next year, somebody who I knew became the head of League of Legends, and then he wanted me to come back because I actually did graphic design at that point. And he wanted me to do like all the social media and stuff like that. And the reason I did graphic design was because I made forum banners so I could buy skins on League of Legends.
Oh, because they would give you riot points for ban art.
Yes, for banners.
All
Like,
right, yeah.
The signatures on the forums, they would have graphics and stuff, and I used to make that stuff.
And they would give you riot points for that?
Yes, even though it's illegal. I'm not gonna say which because I'm gonna be banned.
Okay, right. No, don't say. Yeah.
But yeah, I used to make like Photoshop graphics and stuff like that for riot points so I could buy skins. Probably like I'd say $500 or so.
Yeah, I think that's how much I've spent on League.
Yeah, and then that's kind of how I got started in the university club, and then I just worked my way up from there to become president.
Okay, and then you moved. You go ahead, Dusty.
Yeah, I was about to ask actually. Like, did you start with Chronic? Did you like start it, or was it not your first like rodeo?
Yeah, so I actually joined Soar Gaming. That was the first team that I joined. Okay. And I joined Soar because I knew somebody called YouTubeable. He used to do girl voice trolling on Omegle and other websites. And he's like, "Hey, these guys at Soar, you know."
And one day you were the guy jerking off when he ended up on Omegle, and then you guys just hit it off. And
like that.
Yeah, he found me. He found me. He's like, "Damn,
nice
this
cock.
guy's got something that I like."
Get in,
bro. Speaking of Soar, do you know something? I mean, of course you know. OT Sniper.
Yeah,
I'm talking about, bro. That homie, he used to help us with me and Jack used to have a channel called Jig News where we'd make like Fortnite just meme news shit, and that motherfucker used to help us a lot. And it's funny because way back in the day when I first got into Fortnite and streaming period, he told me to look into Soar, and Soar is actually the first team that I ever heard of, like as far as esports, like even before FaZe and shit. And that was like fucking 2-3 years ago, which is crazy.
Nuts.
So before I interrupt you Soar. Okay. How do you get into something like Soar? For people listening, like how could they get that?
Back in the day,
networking, friends. Yeah.
So how did you have friends like to get you there? From where?
So at that time, I was working at a streaming platform for one of the biggest mobile game publishers in the world called IGG. They made Lords of Mobile. I don't know if any of you have seen their advertisements on YouTube with Mr. Beast. It's kind of like Castle Clash, Clash of Clans, like stuff like that. And he got hired there as a partner manager as well. He's like the whitest person you can ever meet in your life. He's never gone out for any kind of food. He's had peanut butter jelly sandwiches his entire life, only eats pasta. So I took him out to some different types of food, and he was allergic to seafood as well. Like I don't eat seafood, but he's allergic. So
Yeah.
you know, I took him to places that could have killed him. I almost killed him once, but we we just kind of became friends. He's like, hey, these guys at Sword Gaming, you know, Banks, Rain, Apex, on all these original FaZe guys, they made Soar and they left Soar to make FaZe Clan. If you scroll back far enough into Soar's history, you can actually see Banks saying the N-word to Keemstar on the Soar brand page.
Yes.
And
Don't
we're
ever,
talking
don't
about
ever,
what year? Like
don't ever
2014?
delete that, dude. Don't ever delete
I
it.
think it was like 2012.
2012, bro. The
Or-
peak of
Oh, for sure.
Xbox,
gaming.
Call of Duty.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
I think I was in
Hello?
what, 9th grade in 2012? 8th grade was when was my peak for Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2, everyone's saying that shit online.
There's
How
no
long?
limit to
How long
what,
have you
bro.
been? How long have you been in gaming? Like, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Nice. And then you started in gaming. You said like college-ish. So I'm gonna guess like 23.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I used to live in this town that only had white people. Growing up, I had one half Asian friend, one brown friend, one black friend, and the rest were white.
Oh, so you're
And-
racist.
Yeah. So you're racist.
You
Yeah,
didn't meet
yeah,
the
yeah.
you didn't meet the quota, brother.
Yeah. And then, so I was like super whitewashed when I was younger. I didn't even have bubble tea until like,
Dude, I'm craving
was
bubble
19.
tea.
Bro, did you just?
And-
Okay. Wait. Real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Is it called boba or bubble?
bubble tea is what Canadians call it. Boba is what Americans call it.
What's it actually called?
Well,
though?
Americans call it that so they can be cultured.
Yeah. What is it called?
Yeah. Like, what's it actually called?
I don't know. There's no real name. It's
bubble,
just
you say
tea.
bubble, and you just have like a bunch of Americans
thought-
saying that you're.
I thought
fucking
boba
bald,
was
dude.
like I don't know, like a word,
But
like, you know what I'm saying, like
Boba.
like a Chinese word or something.
Yeah. That's what we say in China.
dude, it's crazy to see that because a lot of people don't understand that there's so many paths that you can take to get to where you are, and especially for business and
Yeah.
like being an entrepreneur, because like you literally started, you probably did not know you're gonna own an org or
No.
anything. That's crazy, because a lot of people, they don't make the connection. They're like, okay, so I'm nobody, I'm nothing, I don't do anything in gaming, but I want to have an org. But like there's a lot of steps and there's a lot of different fucking paths. You never know where you're gonna
Mhm.
end, and that's crazy. So like that proves it right there.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought that I was going to be here. I actually wanted to do talent management,
Yeah.
but I somehow ended up here managing kids.
Oh, you're a fucking yeah. I was doing my taxes the other day, and it comes up with like an option like, are you in an area of disaster? You know, has your home been struck by war or some shit, whatever? And then the last one, the only one that applied was, I run a daycare full of kids. And I was like, yo, that's the one for streaming. Anyway, so you ended up on Soar.
Yeah.
You and Banks used to say the N-word together all the time. What do you do? Like, what was your next step after Soar?
Yeah, after the N word, like it was N word, and then what? Like after
Yeah.
that?
So I
Did
was
you
in
move on to
Soar
the
for
F
about-
word, or did you?
It was the hard F.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Oh yeah.
No, so I was in Soar for about 6 months, and then they kind of were still behind because they never got funding. They never got like scaling to their brand, so they kind of stuck like permanently at tier 2, tier 3 kind of
Crazy.
brand,
They're kind of
and-
like literally permanently there. Like over the
Yeah,
years,
because
they've
they-
never been able to evolve
Dude,
past that.
I mean, the thing is, they'll stay there until somebody steps in and has the connections or the know-how to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? It's
But why
I
would
feel like-
somebody?
I feel like the thing is management, and I mean, why would somebody? Because they didn't
Yeah.
want to start from scratch. Basically, is the only reason I'd ever assume. But
But
I'm
if you
with
look at the
why would
history,
they?
you know, for like 8 years, it's been permanently
Yeah.
tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah, but the thing is, if a team has enough funding, the last 10 years don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Because they're
They
only
pick
in content, they're not in competitive.
they pick up
esports
they
like
pick
they
up
used
the
to be.
they pick up the right people, bro. At the same time, they fucking ravage the fucking the landscape. They could do whatever they want. It's all about funding, bro. Like that's who wins. Because I feel like the esports, and obviously tell me if I'm wrong, Hantao, because you know more about this than I do.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's a game of attrition. I feel like it's a long game, bro. Like the problem with esports, in my opinion, is that people with a little bit of money will start a team and make it out to be the next big thing, but then they don't last a fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Like they just can't last it. They can't fund it, and they don't know how to go get other funding. They don't understand how like shareholdership works, so they never go that route and they just die eventually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
Yeah, not to be toxic, but the two teams that I always mention that when I talk to players, Ghost Gaming and E11. Ghost Gaming literally signed some of the best players. E11 signed some of the best players, and where are they? All right.
Yeah.
You s-
they're still
Well,
missing
dude,
spot.
the thing is, bro, they sign these players and they think that signing the players is it. They think that once they have the players, like that's it. But in reality, what they have to do is they have to use the 6 months to a year that they signed them for, and for lack of a better word, pimp the fuck out of them. Right, like market the shit out of them, bro. Like that's what you have to
Yeah.
do when you have a brand name, when you have a household name on your team, bro. You need to fucking
Milk
make
it.
that known. You know what I'm saying?
But-
And that's the thing where like these teams, bro, they'll get big name players and then they'll just like, cool, we got the players. What's
But how
next?
do you market a 14-year-old that doesn't have a face reveal anything? You know, the one like.
Well,
I
you
feel
make
like
them
content
face
creators
reveal.
Bro,
still-
see
no,
that's
but I'm just
that
saying that just
that
started.
question is a question that would be asked by somebody that doesn't know about marketing, and that's why that's like you need somebody that knows how to market that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's a big effort to market one person, bro. Like you could assign one manager to one person to run all of their shit, and it could be a full-time job. And I 100% know that people do that for other people, like Mongrel, like Mr. Savage, like these people. They have people that run all their shit, right? It's like it's a really conscious marketing effort to do that, and you have to do it in the
Mhm.
small amount of time that you have this person on the team before they get signed to somebody else. And Ghost Gaming is an excellent example of that, because you're right. And I would like to make the comment, obviously not being toxic or negative, but what the fuck are they doing right now? What are they doing right now?
I don't
They
know.
got like a crazy random second wave of funding, and they're using it on like,
Round 2.
dude.
I heard they're rich. I heard they're rich as fuck, like insanely rich, apparently, and like
So,
they're not fucking. up
Dude,
anything,
no.
you
they're
guys
not,
on went
bro.
round 1 bankruptcy. You guys ready for round 2 bankruptcy? It's
Dude,
they're
no,
just
but like
starting
they
a trend.
signed. How many people did he sign, bro? I literally saw like there was at one point I literally saw Ghost Gaming retweeting all the like people's announcement. Never heard of anyone, and that like bro, a lot of streamers, like
Really?
at least 20 in one
Is
day.
that what's
20.
happening?
They're probably trying to do a content play, but I don't think. I mean, dude.
I mean, who
guess
knows how
I
much they're
guess,
paying them? It could be just represent them, to be honest. Speaking
Yeah.
of which,
No, I know a few players that would never.
we'll
that
hop
would
into
never,
that. I have a question for you later about that. You're really
Yeah.
good at not making players. You're really good at players love to represent you for free.
Uh-huh.
They just do, bro. I don't know what it is, whether it's your words or whatever it is, but I've seen since the beginning of time, whether it be Vade, Chronic, or OT now,
Yeah.
people just love to represent you for free. Why is that?
Number 1, probably clout,
Hmm.
because everybody wants to succeed. Number
Right.
2, probably just the reputation that I built for myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because there's so many teams in this industry. There's so many managers or people that lead teams and help out teams, and like they have zero clue or zero idea what they're doing. They have a little bit of money and they're just like, hey, let's make an esports team to be cool. Because if you think about traditional sports, it's like it doesn't even make them the billions of dollars back, right? It's
Right.
literally just a flex to own a sports team. Like,
Right.
hey, I own the New York Yankees. Look at me, I'm a rich white dude, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a flex. It's not necessarily like, oh yeah, I make billions of dollars every year on this team, especially now. But it's just my, I guess, strategic thinking that like people want to get value out of me
I mean, your
outside of
results
the
speak for
cloud.
themselves.
Right.
Your results speak for themselves. You fucking grew Chronic, you grew Evade, and now OT. You're doing amazing stuff. Like you just you see success everywhere you fucking step. So that's good.
So after Soar,
Yeah.
you went.
Yeah. So after SOAR, I was there for 6 months. The first 3 months was like me basically helping them like rebuild their marketing deck, business structure, management team, account management, like how to get more out of sponsors. Then I left and I was like, I want to manage influencers because I don't want to manage teams that much.
Right.
Because my experience with SOAR was like, holy shit, you know, there's so many different facets of managing a team. There's like editors, designers, then there's like talent itself, and then there's like their emotions, and they want to like, hey, can you help me with girlfriends or girl stuff or boyfriends? And I was like, maybe I just want to manage like a few big talent. And Sniper actually said to me, hey, there's this team that's kind of starting to blow up called Chronic. Maybe you should check them out. And then I spoke to two people, Eagle and Orange. Eagle played in one of SOAR Gaming's Fortnite tournaments, and Orange used to grind for SOAR when he played Rocket League. So they introduced me to X, Shaw, Luis, Sway, and Hulvik, who used to be the managers of Chronic at that time. And they were choosing between myself and merging with Obey Alliance. And that was before
Thank God
Obey
they
Alliance
did.
got sold
Yeah.
Again.
to Shook.
They've
There
been
was
sold
drama
so
between you
much,
and
right?
Shaw.
I think 3 or 4 times.
I've seen them through the years just fucking
Bro,
bounce
it's-
back and forth.
the thing that's wild to me is like, so I went to college for business, and so like I understand like acquisitions and this and that, and bro, like the thing is like, who the fuck are buying these fucking teams, bro? Like what net cash flow could they show on paper to make it worth anyone's time? And you know what I'm saying? Like that's just my question.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I did, you know what my theory is? My theory is that a lot of bigger companies use gaming teams like this as a tax shelter to show a fucking net loss over the year. You get what I'm saying? Like if they have like a big ass business that they're making a fuck ton of money on,
Uh-huh.
you know, they can buy a bunch of houses and do that shit to build an asset, or they can buy a team that and fund it and write all that shit off, and then in like 4 to 5 years they'll actually start making money. You get what I'm saying? It's just like instead of paying
I
Uncle
think it's
Sam,
just
they're
rich
they're
white
pouring into this
people
shit.
or whatever that don't understand the industry, and they see like this 200K on Twitter follower account. They're like, all right, you know, 100 Thieves has 200K or whatever, and they're like, probably the same thing, and they just buy it. And they have no idea how numbers work.
It's probably a mix of both.
Yeah, I mean, like 11, like we talked about
Yeah,
it.
probably
Like
mix of both.
it's an NHL player, right? Like he plays for the Maple Leafs, and you know he has a lot of money, but does he really know a lot about gaming? Maybe he fucking played Xbox, but like, does he really know about esports? You know, and everything around? Probably not. And like you can tell when someone that has a lot of money steps in this business, you can tell a year or 2 after if it grew like it should have been.
Like, how
You
much
know?
time do you actually have when you're a full-time athlete, okay, to learn a whole esports industry? Like, it's probably so unlikely.
Yeah.
Because, like, bro, look at us. We
Mhm.
spend all our time here in this fucking online world. What do we know about the whole NHL world or the whole fucking NBA world unless you've spent fucking years growing up learning about it? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. Anyways,
it would have to be delegated for sure. Like they couldn't fucking do it all.
so you
Oh,
got
I
hit
have
up. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, you go ahead because you're continuing this. I have two questions I want to ask you before this all
Yeah.
ends. But continue on the
Write them
story.
down so you don't forget them.
No, I won't. I would never.
So Hentai, you became part of. They chose you over Obey Alliance,
Yeah.
and that paid off.
Yeah, they literally if they chose Obey Alliance, they would have lost their brand basically. And they didn't want to lose the name Chronic. So they chose me. They only had a Twitter page. I think it was at like 20 or 30K followers. I made the Instagram. I made the YouTube. Sniper actually grinded for Sora, I think, for like
Dude,
6
forever.
months or a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And I knew that he worked for you guys because he told me, and like he's shown me his work and stuff. So I actually brought him on to help me.
Dude, he
run.
goes, he messaged me. He goes, bro. He always messages me shit. He goes, bro. He's like, can I use the shit that I've done for you for like school projects and shit? Would that be cool? And the reason I'm whispering is because you know how he is.
Yeah.
Dude, if he's watching this right now, yo, what's up, Sniper? Hey, good to see you, bro. Glad you're enjoying the podcast, bro. Dude, this
Yeah,
motherfucker-
he's brown, so
he
his
was-
parents are
dude,
gonna like.
Dude, they beat his ass, dude. If he was too loud, bro. The funniest shit. Shout out to Sniper, bro. I saw him do the craziest shit one time, bro. He did like the craziest like quadruple fucking bounce trick shot from like a fucking 1,000 meters away, rained down hell on this kid's head, killed him immediately, and all I hear is "Let's go."
No, I love that.
Dude, I love it. But anyways, yeah, he messaged me. I think about that. He's like, "Yo, can I use this for a job application?" I was like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have long hair. I don't care."
Yeah, so he helped me run the Instagram. I brought the YouTube together. Like they didn't even upload themselves, right? So like they didn't know how to upload clips. They didn't know what Google Drive was. They didn't know what Dropbox was. They were still using Share Factory to edit their videos on PlayStation 4.
No way.
Really?
Yeah,
So
they started on console.
It's like go on YouTube.
are
Like,
you still good friends with any of them? Because I know you guys had like a breaking up when you guys split, and you took.
I still help Shaw with like questions. Recently he asked me about merchandising.
Right.
Like I don't mind helping other teams succeed and giving advice to people. But yeah, with X, like we don't really have anything. Just on like
Because he almost
neutral
ruined
terms.
your. Yeah. So how did that go? You guys split.
Yeah, so X wanted to sell the team.
Why?
to
Because he joined
Robbie
Ghost.
because he didn't want to deal with the team anymore. Right?
And he wants to sell it to who? Robbie Mead from Ghost?
Yes, Robbie.
Okay.
Yes. Skull. And I went to my friend Lee Massey, who was the COO of Ghost. Robbie was just a talent manager.
Right.
And I was like, yo, do you know what's happening here? And
So X
Lee
didn't tell any of
basically-
you guys.
Huh?
X didn't tell you guys. He just went to do it.
Well, X just told me like it was a price you couldn't turn down. And I was like, okay, but what is the team getting out of it rather than yourself? Right? Like, I don't care if X wants to like make money and stuff or like doesn't want to do the team stuff anymore, but there has to be value for the people that, because everybody stepped back as soon as I joined.
Right.
Like, they didn't post on Twitter anymore. They didn't do anything for the team because they took a step back to work on their own content and to also focus on Ghost. And then Sway joined FaZe, obviously.
Yeah.
So Sway left Chronic because of Ghost, but Apex messaged him to join FaZe when he was a free agent during that time.
Nice.
that's sick.
Yeah, so they didn't want to deal with the team anymore. Like they didn't want to deal with internal politics because, you know, how the Fortnite community is. That can give a good picture. And it was just like a bunch of clouded console players.
Oh, and that shit was everywhere on Twitter, man. Like I remember waking up one day and seeing like a Google Drive. You teach him how to use Google Drive, and he tried exposing you with Google Drive. I don't know if you remember, but he posted like a Google Drive link, like a Google Doc, and there's like a bunch of fucking screenshots of fucking conversations with you, and like there's a whole drama with that. I remember,
Bro,
I hate
the
that
thing
shit,
is-
bro. I hate that shit.
Unrelated, but I think it's
Yeah.
wild that YouTube did so well for teams like Chronic and shit like that because of console players, bro. Like console players are like fucking 80% of the Fortnite community, like low key. Like no one even realizes that, dude. That's all it
Yeah.
is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did this and the like people were like taking Chronic as like a meme. I don't know if you remember. Like I think it's late 2018. People were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm grinding for Chronic," but like people were laughing at it. But at the same time, what they don't realize is that they fucking grow the brand.
No, it was
Everyone's
excellent
talking about
PR. It was excellent PR.
Everyone's
Everyone's
talking about Chronic.
Yeah, everyone was making jokes
Insane.
like just like 90ing fucking to Juice
Yeah,
WRLD Base
yeah, he's
Boosted. They're like
grinding
grinding
for
for Chronic. Yeah, it was good. It was a
Yeah.
good shit, bro. It was like
Yeah.
when Turner memed Code Tifu for a goddamn year. Fucking bought himself a mansion off that. Good shit.
Yeah.
Bro. So I have a quick question because
Yeah.
continue on your storyline of Chronic
Yeah.
and then what you went to next. But how do you feel about Chronic now? FR Chronic. Like,
I
were
don't
you
think-
did anyone ask you like if it would be cool or like like I don't know. I just thought it was
like, I
weird that it
don't-
came back up.
Like they started Nova, right? And that was like their reiteration. But then they had like drama between, I think it was X and Derek. And that was their first iteration. Then they broke up. Some of the people went to BH. Some of them went to Aggro, and then they started Chronic again. For me, it's like I don't really care, because at the end of the day, like that was the name that they started and something that they did. And I've
You were way
succeeded
past
in my
that,
own
yeah.
way, so like it's not my
Yeah, fair.
place to
fair.
care.
So
Fair.
X went to sell the team. Did he own like any legal rights to it, or is just the intellectual property?
He didn't own anything for it. He started the Twitter page.
So it was just
right?
selling the Twitter page essentially.
Well, I started the Instagram and the YouTube, and I was the one who like grew it and did all the content and stuff. And I felt that it was wrong for X to just like, hey, give me this money.
And you hadn't been paid
And-
either yet, right? You were doing it all kind of just for exposure and building a team.
Well, I didn't expect to be paid initially from the team at all, because like I told them when I joined, like any income from the team that was made through YouTube sponsors, whatever, I would put back into the team.
Okay.
And I didn't take any money because at
Right.
that time I had a full-time job.
Right.
So if I took money, I would just get taxed more. So there's no point.
Right.
Smart.
But yeah, so like I wouldn't have minded if there was something for the team and value, because I don't know Robbie, no offense obviously, but he doesn't seem like he has a lot of experience in gaming.
Right. No offense, because
and-
Ghost obviously.
I mean, again, he's a fucking. He plays for the Alouettes. He plays football professionally. Like we said earlier with hockey, like he probably doesn't have a lot of knowledge. But yeah, go ahead.
So, and like I don't know any of his background. I've never spoken to him, right? So it's like, hey, he's gonna own you guys now, right? And it's like, oh, what the heck? Because an M&A is basically marriage,
What's an
and-
what's an M&A?
merger and acquisition.
Okay.
Kind
Kind of like what
it's-
OT did with Evade, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like Logitech with Streamlabs, Corsair with Elgato and Scuff.
Logitech
It's like
owns
a-
Streamlabs.
Yes, they bought Streamlabs for
Nice.
like 40 million or something. I don't remember.
Holy fuck.
Dude, that's so fucking cheap for Streamlabs, bro. Holy
That's-
shit.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't remember the exact
Damn,
price, but
That's pretty fucking
crazy,
cheap
actually.
for sure.
40 million is really cheap.
You know
Like
how much money they're
Logitech.
gonna be making off streamers in fucking 5 to 10 years? Holy
Bro,
shit! 'Cause they don't even take
residual
much,
shit.
bro. You barely even realize it. They take like
they
fucking
don't take anything.
the Streamlabs when you donate through them. Yeah, they do.
No.
They take a
No, they
percentage,
don't.
don't they?
No, they
No.
don't. They don't. They don't.
That's
they
PayPal
don't.
fees.
That's
Yeah,
PayPal
they don't.
fees.
What they make money on is like the little add-ons. Like if you want to
The
do like,
The
merchandise and
$5 a
shit.
month.
yeah,
Okay,
they make money off like that shit, but no, they don't take any money.
Yeah. So Streamlabs, they have an office in Vancouver. They're from San Francisco. They don't take any money from donations. They are trying and still trying to find alternative methods of monetization.
I'm sure they will too.
I can't disclose other internal politics, but let's just say like because of their lack of monetization, that's why they let go of a lot of their partnership team. And they're still like looking for a specific business model that'll actually work.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, I think that they should offer because like Streamlabs, obviously, like what the fuck do I know? But Streamlabs by itself is such a useful tool that everyone will continue to use no matter what. That they should just do like little add-ons, like fucking theme packages and shit. Like it's a fucking Fortnite item store. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh,
sell
like
packs.
changing the color of your Streamlabs, etc.
Like just like
That'd be
little
sick.
cool, like
I'd
I'd
probably pay for, like,
animated
yeah.
shit, you know, like
They have Streamlabs Pro, I think, right? Like,
yeah, but it's all shit.
Bro, like
They need
It's just
gaming's
some
like
all
stuff.
aesthetic
gifs.
too, bro. Like gaming's all aesthetic. So like you look at your
Yeah.
Streamlabs and it's got this sick ass design that you're streaming from, and you're showing new friends. Like bro, I have OBS pulled up right now. It's gray. It's just gray. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
can I say this? I really wish the UI of fucking Streamlabs was more straightforward. Because for example, do you ever watch Greek God, Hantao?
Yeah.
You know how like he has this crazy like on-screen animations where like it's like running, like he has like a character running across the screen and then the whole screen like turns crazy, like if somebody donates a dumb amount. I have no
Yeah.
fucking idea how to
I
do
don't
that.
either. American
And
Dad
I've
has a good
tried.
one.
I've tried and I've hit up people that work at Streamlabs, and they like Zam. I hit up Zam and he sent me a tutorial on how to do it, but it's still hard as fuck and I still don't understand. Like it's not like I
Yeah.
feel you know, they should come up with like tutorials or like something like notifications that should be like the easiest fucking thing to set up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Animated notifications are hard because a lot of it is like you either need the source file
Yeah.
to be animated specific way, or you need custom programming and development. Which,
Yeah, it's tough, bro. I sat with AD for fucking an hour while he showed me how to do it, and then it all worked. But the problem was you can only have one alert box, and one alert box is one size. And all of my
Yeah.
5 sub, 10 sub, 20 sub, 30 sub, whatever, all of those were supposed to be different sizes and on different parts of the fucking screen.
That would be
And you
cool if you could.
You can't do that. I mean, you can do that. I just
Oh.
don't know how to do it. It's not very intuitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's what an M&A is just merger and acquisition. Sometimes a rebrand happens, sometimes it doesn't. For example, even though E11 and Soar Gaming say that it's a partnership, E11 actually owns Soar Gaming through a merger and acquisition. But
Right.
they'd obviously like imagine killing off Soar's brand. That's like 10 years of history, you know,
Right.
for E11, which is like
I'm not,
Zach's favorite number.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't believe you
Yeah.
could do it, to be honest. When you guys split with with Chronic and you became Evade, I was like, all right, who the fuck is this Hantao guy? Like, why is he taking this?
Yeah.
And then you ended up popping off and fucking merging with Overtime, and that was a huge step.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, I remember telling Inspire, I was like, are you sure you guys want to like take this path? And he was like, dude, Hantao knows what he's doing. Like because we were in a hotel room at TwitchCon and he was telling me about that,
Yeah.
about you guys buying it with fucking Chris
Yeah.
Chris Bussain or whatever his name is.
Toussaint.
Bussain.
Yeah.
Bro.
And I told Inspire, I was like, dude, this name has changed so many times. What are the chances that it lives through another fucking rebrand?
Yeah.
But y'all are fucking killing it, bro. Like
Yeah.
the biggest thing there is they were buying your structure that you made. Like not like it was you, bro. Like you
They
were the
respected
fucking
you.
yeah.
Yeah. At that time, I actually had a couple different offers. One of them actually offered me $500,000
Holy shit.
just for the
For
person,
what?
just to buy me out of my equity,
Right.
not even to fund the team.
In what? In Chronic?
Evade.
Wow.
That's crazy, dude.
It was Canadian, but you know.
Yeah,
So-
but it
So
doesn't-
$3.
it
So
looks
$3
better.
American. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they actually, but the downside was they didn't actually offer that much operating budget to run the team. And like
Yes.
at the end of the day, what is $500,000 right now versus like $10 million?
Yeah, you have
in a
your
couple
eye on the
years.
long goal. Exactly right.
Yeah. And even when I first joined Chronic, for those guys, like X wanted to use Chronic as a platform to join Ghost, which he completed. But the reason why he wanted to do it was because number one, he wanted to be in like a gaming house, like the FaZe guys. He wanted free Uber Eats. He wanted like the perks of being in a team, right? And he asked me at the start, like, "Hey, do you think we could get a gaming house?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's very doable." I told them when I first joined, like based on these influencers on the team and based on what I think I could do, I think I could make $10,000 a month within the first 3 months, and I think I can get funding in 6 months. And I made about 8 to 10 within 3 months.
Right.
And then OT bought Evade it was 9 months.
Nice. This is after you had left, but before you had left, how did that start? You said you went to the COO, Lee. What's his name? Lee. You went to the COO of Ghost. Before we skipped that part, and X was talking to Robbie. How did you convince them to not? How did you get through that?
I just told Lee, like, hey, everybody else step back, and X didn't make the YouTube and the Instagram, and he didn't like upload on it. He didn't work or anything. And there's like other people on the team that contributed, the players, the other like designers, editors, and other people that I brought on to help with the team and the project. Like they weren't gonna get anything out of it.
Right.
The only reasoning was that Robbie was gonna run this thing, and then that was like the value, quote unquote. But I didn't see the value. You know?
So they ended up not buying anything. X didn't make any money off of the split.
It didn't go through. X was like super tilted that didn't go through. And so Robbie DM'd me like, I don't like you going to my boss.
Robbie DM'd you or X DM'd you? Robbie DM'd you about going to Lee. Oh my god.
I mean, you're right to do it then.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a power play for sure.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
That's always best.
You built a fucking huge community too, and you took care of all your members while doing it. That's it, bro.
I mean, dude, at the end of the day, he just wasn't allowed to do that shit, bro. He didn't build that shit. Like, and that's that. Anytime any of my friends go to start a business, I always tell them, bro, you need to have like an operational agreement ironed out with everyone who's a part of it from the beginning, with exit agreements, with like, like everything needs to be put on the table before any money's even made. Because that's when all the problems start, bro. When money, like, dude, we fucking talked about this podcast, everything before we started. We're like, this is how it's gonna be. This when money does come up, like, this is how it's all gonna be distributed, etc. Like, we all talked about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So like, when money's on the table, right? There's like greed, and you have to make the right decisions.
Right.
And for me, it's like there's players that have helped out the team since the beginning, Orange, Rowan, even though he like has Twitter fingers, they helped build a brand. So I gave them salaried contracts now that we have funding, right? And it's like, if I was saying, hey, yeah, let's bring Robbie on, you can take your exit, it's like, shit, where's everybody else on the team? Nobody else is going to be taken care of. That, to my knowledge at that time, that I knew of, right? Because I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, did Robbie have more money to fund the team? Does he have millions of dollars to operate it with? Like, I don't know, right?
Dude, is it on
paper? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll
No, but I meant like I was about to say, like, it's like if FaZe Clips literally like asks FaZe Banks like, yo, I want to sell FaZe. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you were there, you founded the team, but like who fucking made it skyrocket?
What do you do now? You left it. Yeah. So like and he wouldn't let you use the name Chronic, right? So you guys had to rebrand.
Well, that was out of like respect for him, right? Because I was like, is it okay if we still use the name Chronic, or do you want us to rebrand? And he was just like, oh, I don't want the name to be used because I don't want the people associated with like the name and the brand anymore. So I was like, all right, sure. So we spent a week thinking about a new name for the brand, something that wasn't like too clanny.
Yeah.
And we decided on Evade. I think it was Relevant or somebody. We brought up the name, and like it actually didn't get a lot of traction at the start. and we were thinking about going with like Invoke, but that was like too clanny.
Too clanny for sure.
Plus, half the kids that fucking play PlayStation 4 don't know what the word invoke means. So
It's not a word.
It's
It was
not.
spelled with
Yeah,
an
it
I.
is.
Invoke is
Invoke?
with an I, yeah, instead of an E.
like
Oh,
evoke,
oh, you're
invoke. Oh,
saying-
yeah, I guess you're right. Wait, you
Invoke is
evoke
not a word.
emotion?
Are
Yeah,
you
I guess
sure?
you're right.
Really?
Bro,
I thought it was you invoke emotion, but I
Yeah.
thought, is it evoke emotion?
I don't
Yeah,
even know
pretty sure
what
it's
that
Evoke.
fucking means, bro.
Hantao, are you stoned?
Can't answer that question.
It's definitely a word. Definitely
yeah,
a
so we're
word.
choosing
I'm on
between the
Google.
name.
He meant
100%
not.
a
He
word.
meant not in Chinese. Arab. Come
Oh,
on.
I'm not
Yeah.
in Chinese.
You're offending my culture, bro. We chose a name, we rebranded it, and then we already had gamer subs. They were okay with the name Chronic. Scuff was like 50-50, and then when we rebranded, they were like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then Meta Threads as well, and we had
Wait,
one
you're
time
sponsored with MetaThreads?
before, yes.
Hook me up, brother. Shit,
Really?
bro. MetaThreads is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Meta Threads, so I've seen them at a couple conventions, and I know their CEO
Right.
as well. But I knew the people that could make it happen. You know, Scuff. I knew them from Soar, and they weren't like a small brand. You know, so it wasn't like we're stealing Soar's contract. You know, it was just like, hey, they can bring on more teams and more partners.
Right.
And Meta Threads gave me a pretty good deal. We also did the first champion drop as well back on Soar. It was the baseball tees.
You guys did do that.
They weren't even allowed to have the champion logo like embroidered or anything anywhere because of legal. That was before they even announced like their partnership with FaZe, Dignitas, Counterlogic Gaming, and all these other teams.
Champion?
And champion, yeah, that was before like the Soar drop, I think was their first gaming drop.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of connections available to actually monetize this brand. If I
Right.
was just like some random person, I would never have gotten to where I am.
Right.
Fair.
So life
Okay.
is, man. Life is a lot of
So-
connections and what you do with them, man. That's
So
really what it is,
you
know?
ran Evade for 9 months, poured your heart
Yeah.
into it, and then Overtime hit you up and just said, "Yo, we love what you're doing. Let's buy
Yeah.
you." And
Yeah.
you just took it because they got a lot of
Yeah.
funding, right?
There was a couple criteria. The first most important one was creative freedom. I don't want to get money and then be like, yeah, you guys need to do this or you guys need to do that, right? Like, I'm the one that knows about gaming,
Right.
not this
Not a fucking
random,
sports
not a random
Instagram team.
investor,
Right.
or I mean, even any investor, right? Like, very few of them actually understand sports.
100%, bro.
Started
And
gaming, esports. They just have the money and they're like, holy shit, this is so cool.
Yeah.
and they got to understand that somebody younger than them is smarter than them in an industry.
Look
Like
at
that's-
Ricky Fox, dude.
Like you gotta,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you're so experienced in it, and then you got this fucking 50-year-old investor that's just rich off something else that thinks they know just because they're rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's huge. Creative freedom is so important. Because for me, that's the biggest thing as well. I don't care about money. I care about creative freedom. Like I want to put my message out there and my content the way I want it, even if it hurts me. Like you've seen my shit. It's all brand risk. Like
yeah.
but it's jokes that I know challenge the status quo or whatever that people are thinking of that, you know, it might hurt my chance of sponsorships. Like I've been
people
told,
are scared to talk to.
yeah, but like I've been told in my fucking the other day I had a business meeting 2 weeks ago. It was like, yeah, we were gonna get this this company to sponsor you, and they saw fucking cisgender in your bio. If it had cisgender in my bio as like a fucking meme for 1 week, I had it for 1 week, and the company looked at my thing for 1 week, and they were like, they didn't like the fact that you had cisgender because they have a transgender on their team. I was like, why would that cause any? Like, why would that What does that have anything to do with anything? So
Yeah.
I like fucking
Yeah.
I took it out. You know what I mean? But like just shit like that. So yeah, you had creative freedom.
Yeah, creative freedom was the biggest thing.
Mm.
The second thing was I wanted enough funding to run the team and operate the team, because there's two parts of investment. The first part is primary capital. The primary capital is the amount of money that you have to operate. And then the secondary capital is the amount that you get from buying out the equity. So the shareholders, right? And sometimes it could be like 90-10, sometimes it could be like 50-50. It really depends on the company's situation, right? And like the stage of what the company's at. So for me, it's like I wanted a higher percentage of primary capital to operate the team, because it's like, sure, I could take a buyout and be like, all right, I'm rich, but like my team would be fucked.
Right.
And I wouldn't be able to acquire talent. I wouldn't be able to do all these like, things and like hire people and bring on people. Like we're hiring a community manager right now.
Well, is the reason for that also that it's easier to spend money when it's not bankrupting you, right? So like if you took higher secondary capital, a higher percentage, but less primary capital, you'd have to be spending out of your own money, right? Rather than an
No.
investor's.
No, because secondary capital is what you get to keep for yourself. Like
Right, but that's
imagine
what I'm
a
saying.
company like Microsoft. Secondary capital is owned by shareholders.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
So what
spend
I'm
that
saying
for
is
the company.
if you took less primary and your budget was lower,
Yeah.
then to push to those goals, you'd have to start using some of your own money.
He just
Well,
wouldn't,
it was
he wouldn't be able to do that. That'd be
No.
intermingling of funds, one and two. That it just wouldn't work out like that. Like you couldn't do that.
Why?
No, you shouldn't think of it like one or the other, like a balance.
Right.
It's two separate negotiations.
Okay.
One of them is like,
Oh.
this is how much I need to operate this
Okay,
team for
right.
the first year, and then the second one's like, this is how much I want for the work that I put in,
Right.
and this is how much like
Okay.
I'm paying out the shareholders.
Got you.
Because I did have two other shareholders.
Yeah, one is negotiating the percentage of the business that they're actually purchasing, and then the other is negotiating the amount of money that they're going to put in for the business to continue to operate.
So
Exactly.
And it's intermingling of funds. If you were to ever take your own money and buy things for the team and then write it off, etc., like you couldn't accounting wise, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is what I learned from Devin Nash.
Okay,
My
right.
fucking boy.
He's
I
smart,
learned
bro.
this shit. I learned this shit from college. Shout out.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Devin on the fucking podcast.
Yeah, he didn't
Um,
reply. He didn't reply to my super
course he's not gonna
well-written
reply.
fucking DM, dude. I wrote this shit like it was a fucking college essay. I thought
He
you'd appreciate
fucking
it.
talks to
What are you gonna
10,000
do
viewer
if you?
streamers.
What are you gonna do for me to pull that network for you?
Oh, it's not a big deal. Don't worry. We
Okay.
don't need to pull it yet. I personally would rather get a few larger guests. Like once we have Turner on, maybe even Nick Merckx, etc. Like these people that we have the connections to, Symphony, if anything. And then after we have that, then we get Devin Nash, because
If you're asking me, however, what I will do for you to do that, I just won't slide you the first chance I see you in person.
Edwin,
So like,
Edwin, pull it out. Pull it out.
pull it out.
Yeah, this is what we'll do, Hentai.
Looks like a
Looks
hook,
like a
bro.
fucking hook. Yeah. Like a fucking
Just fucking put it on your hand.
No, don't pull that connection. Not yet. So you do own a percentage of the Overtime Esports team?
No.
You don't. Okay.
No. So, this is my methodology after speaking with Devin, obviously. If you're a minority shareholder, right? Because I had two other shareholders, I had at least 80%. How equity usually works is like, yes, I gave one of them was Duck, one of them was Terp. And
Doug, my boy.
yeah, he's actually a lawyer.
No way. What?
Yeah, he's a lawyer. He's from Texas, but he lives in Canada now, doing energy and company, like corporate law. So he helped me with start like the business and stuff. So that's why I gave him equity, because I can't pay for his services, right?
Right.
So I gave him equity instead. And so
did you do that?
Duck,
like, was that verbal equity or was that written?
Written. I gave them contracts.
Okay, nice.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
that's so fucking smart because you have a lawyer on retainer for free, basically. That's so lit.
And he also loves Fortnite, so he's a map maker now.
Yeah. Oh, really?
nice.
Shit.
Yeah, he makes Zone Wars and many VR maps. So I had those two on equity, and they had up to 20% together. Obviously, over the course of 3 years, because over the first year you don't get equity, because that's the fall off or the cliff year or whatever. And then the first year after, that's when you can start unlocking equity in the company. And then I gave them like a working percentage over the course of 3 years, up to a certain percentage. Some of them for like you can purchase, some of them you can work for.
Right.
And they have minority share. If I sold 50%, theoretically, 51%, I kept what's left, like 29%, and they had 20, right?
Right.
Us three would have
31%.
minority equity of 49%. And Overtime would have 51%. Our equity is theoretically worthless unless the team itself got sold again.
What do you What do you mean?
So because Overtime as a company has equity, right? They have their own shares.
So if they own if Overtime owned 51%, you're saying?
Yeah.
Why
so
would your 49%?
Because they have majority share. They have the
Right.
voice of the company. So
Right.
they can be like, because we have 51%, this is our decision.
Right.
And there's nothing they can do. Right. So let's take Luminosity, for example. They got bought by the Vancouver Canucks to help them run gaming and stuff when they wanted the Overwatch League spot, Vancouver Titans.
Right.
If Steve Buyaka, or whatever his IGN is, if he had like 5% of Luminosity, what's going to go public first, Luminosity or Canucks? Aquilini Group, the investment group, right?
Right.
Obviously the Aquilini Group. They did a reverse share swap or whatever with Enthusiast Gaming. So Enthusiast Gaming is actually public in the stock exchange.
Okay.
But under Enthusiast Gaming, there's different portfolios. Luminosity Gaming is one of them.
Right? DBAs.
So if Steve owned 5% in Luminosity, theoretically, it's not worth anything.
Right.
Okay.
So if
I think what he's trying to explain, Arab, is that the only two times equity is worth any money
is when you're selling or buying.
Literally, is when you're selling the business, and so he's saying it would have to be sold again, which it probably won't be for that to be worth any money. The other time it's worth any money is if the company has like a net gain like remaining at the end of the year. Like if they didn't spend some money, like if they have $100,000 in the bank account, they can Well, yeah, and the people on the board can be like, okay, well, are we going to buy back the stock, or are we going to do a distribution? Which a distribution is like a direct, like if we have $100,000, we're going to distribute $50,000 of it to the shareholders. And
but the fucking owner that go ahead.
I was gonna say based on the percentage that they own. So if you own 5%, you get 5% of the $50,000 distribution. But the thing is, no one ever does that.
Yeah.
No one ever does distributions.
And
unless it's like a company owned by family. Right?
No, yeah. Well, nobody in gaming is gonna have a fucking fourth quarter net fucking $100,000 sitting around. Nobody, literally.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So,
so what do you trade off for that equity?
Money.
Money.
It's just a buyout.
Like a salary of just pure flat money.
Yeah,
so you just
and
sold
then
it all.
Obviously I'm still getting a salary with them because I'm working for them.
Wait, it's not for free?
Yeah, so,
I'm just playing.
You should work for free.
Yeah, I did.
He does right now. We're doing this for free. Hantao. Yeah.
Well, maybe I should pay all of you with his Twitch money. It's 7 figures a month.
You should pay us for letting you on here.
Yeah, you should pay me for my appearance fee. Yeah, so the only two times the equity is actually worth money is when your company is being sold again. So like if Overtime was like, hey, we're gonna sell Overtime Gaming and like 30% to an investor, right? Or they're gonna sell it again, right? And the second time is if the company is public.
Okay.
But what's gonna go public? Overtime or their subsidiary.
Overtime, right?
Like-
which you wouldn't even own a percent of. Yeah, overtime gaming is not going to go public. Overtime might.
Bro, if that shit
Right?
went
That's what
public
you're
though,
saying?
and you owned any sort of percentage on that, that'd be wild, bro. The initial public offer would probably be interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
you would just make money regardless.
Yeah.
regardless.
So
Yeah.
You're saying overtime gaming would never go public, and that's what you'd have a percent of, right? But overtime, the whole company might, and you wouldn't even
yes,
own that.
That's
Exactly. So I told them
go
like,
ahead.
hey, I want to be able to purchase shares, because when you work for a company, you can actually trade in a part of your salary for equity,
Okay.
and it kind of like subsidizes some of your like their taxes and then your taxes. But
So
also
you
get,
want to
like,
be able to trade in shares, your salary for shares of the full overtime company,
yeah, exactly.
and they agreed to that.
Yes.
That's
Wow,
smart as
good
shit.
for
That's
you,
smart as
bro.
shit.
hard, bro.
That's smart as fuck
Uh,
because dude, you could fucking never pay taxes on that until you fucking take it out of the fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It
that's
sits
such a good
there.
idea.
Yeah. So for other teams out there that are like, hey, yeah, I still want to keep a percentage of my team. Like, if when E11 bought Soar, right? If Crude and Mac has any equity in Soar Gaming still, it's essentially worthless, right? Because
Right.
the company they should be having shares in is E11, the
11.
parent company.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody that's watching, or the younger people, because a lot of younger people watch. Basically, Hantao is saying this company, which is Overtime, right? Overtime, guys, goes outside of just gaming. They have a big sports team. They have this big, it's a news page essentially for sports. And Overtime Gaming is just this little small piece of this big company called Overtime, right? It's like how Google owns a bunch of companies, how Google owns YouTube, etc. Well, if a company is going to go on the exchange where people can buy stuff, right? That's how stocks work. If a company is going to go on the exchange, they're not going to put Overtime Gaming on the exchange. So Hantao having a percentage of this Overtime Gaming down here, when this is nothing, and this company goes public, Hantao owns none of it. So when people are investing in this, Hantao's making no money because he owns this little shit down here, right? That's not even public. So essentially, he traded in, he fully sold this, and then now he works under this, and he's trading his salary for a percent of this. Okay, just so they understood.
Yeah.
And
I think he explained it
Well,
better than
that
you
was.
I
a
think they'll
terrible
understand it,
explanation.
bro. I think they'll understand it.
did. Yeah.
I think a lot of kids are gonna be lost that don't know anything about,
Oh yeah.
and they'll see the fucking hand shaking and they'll be like, oh my god. Dude,
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
inside the mind.
yeah.
I do inside the mind,
They're gonna be
bro.
watching you- they're gonna be watching you go like this. Like, what the fuck is he talking
Like they
about?
buy this and then this.
And
All
they're
right,
like,
listen,
"Yo,
if
does
you guys
Arab need to
understood-
see a doctor?"
All right,
Yeah,
listen.
they really, does he have Parkinson's?
Does he
Is
have
that what I just
Parkinson's?
witnessed?
All right, listen. One, in the comments if I explained it easier for you, and two, if I'm just dumb.
And if you
You're-
type
yeah,
one,
You're
it's the
dumb as
writer.
fuck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
so
You're dumb as shit.
So I told my shareholders at the time, we also had minority share, like, hey, I think this is a really good deal for what we have. The Overtime team is great. You know, Dan, Miles' dad, you know, he's a really good guy. Really funny. He's always in your corner. He will like shit on anybody that tries to, you know, take a stab at him.
Right.
Nice.
And the rest of the rest of the team, you know, they're very supportive. So, you know, if the CEO is in your corner and not just some like rep from Tencent being like, hey, yeah, we should invest money, you know,
Right.
like my boss is Dan,
Right.
right? So
And Inspire's a great kid, so I'm sure his dad's got a nice
I heard he was an excellent manager.
yeah.
I don't know, questionable.
No,
So
I'm
I
just
told
saying
my
personality
shareholders,
wise, like he's raised well.
Yeah.
I really like Inspire.
yeah, he's really smart.
Yeah.
So I told my shareholders like, hey, this is the one and only time you'll probably ever get a buyout. So if you don't take this, I'm gonna sell whatever I have, and they're gonna own the majority, and you may or may never get a buyout for your percentage that you worked for.
Right.
And I just like told them how it was,
And
they
that's not
both
even
stole
that's
their-
not even like weighing your percentage on them. It's just the reality. Because you know what
It's-
the fuck you're talking about. Like
yeah,
it's
like,
obvious.
if they want to keep equity, like, okay, I guess I'll sell 90%, then you're
Right.
still, you know. Yeah, so I told them that, and we finalized the deal. I think it was December, and we announced it in February.
Right.
Yeah, and then I think the key thing with this merger and acquisition was that in most companies, like there's just a lot of paperwork. Like, here's how our internal structure is. This is how we do like salary. Now you guys are gonna be moving to this department officially. This is your manager or whatever. For me, it's like I had to come in and also fix a lot of the problems that were already in team overtime.
Right.
For example, like they had Thresh, Aircool, and Inspire in a house in Brooklyn. Like, I'm pretty sure Brooklyn's one of the more expensive areas in New York.
Nice house. Nice area. Been there a few times.
Nice area. The house was kind of bad, especially for making content.
Is
But
it?
the price that they were paying for it was insane. So I was like, I could get like a clicks with this type of money.
Right.
Fair, yeah, fair.
Right. So
I mean,
it's
bro,
like,
the thing is, a lot of these. That's the other thing I've noticed too. Like a lot of these gaming companies, bro, they like, I don't know what the fuck their money manager's doing, but they just buy the most random shit, bro. Like they just spend money on the craziest shit and then like nobody makes any content. And they just live in a mansion making no content. Speaking of mansions with no content, you know what's crazy? I heard about the acquisition a long time ago through somebody you might know. Do you know somebody named Shane?
yes, because I talked to him about you and Jug.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot. He talked to you guys. That's crazy.
You talked to him about Jews?
Yeah, we already established. We established he was
Yeah.
racist, but
The new Jews album? Jews oil?
Jews album.
Rest in peace.
that was good. That was good. Yeah, I forgot. We had this conversation, but yeah, it's funny that. Well, I guess it's not funny what ended up happening to Homeboy, but I just remember hearing about that months and months ago. He's like, yeah, Mansion, Miami. I was like, who the fuck lives there? He's like 5 kids that play 2K. I'm like, what? And that was it. And then I was like, I think I'm good on that, bro. He's like, no, they got Lamborghinis. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm.
So
all right on that.
what happened to that house when you sold it? When you sold Overtime? Or sold a Evade, sorry.
I had the Evade house, but there wasn't enough people in there that could bring traction and viewership. So each of them actually paid a portion of the rent.
Yeah, I know, because you guys wanted me
Yeah.
to Evade and I didn't want to pay rent. That it didn't make sense. I was like,
because
what's the point of going to a house in fucking Miami?
Yeah.
If I have to
Like
pay?
I didn't see the value of, like, we had the money. The money wasn't the problem. It's just like, if I'm putting this much money for a house, what am I going to get back in return?
Yeah, and good for you, right? It makes sense. I mean, none of those players brought you any ROI.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
there's little to no content on the house itself, like in general, and I feel like when you live at a place like that for the sole purpose of creating content, like you better be shitting
Yeah.
out something at least once a week. Fuck, dude, like
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. And I mean, we live in an era of like cloud equity, right? So for me, it was like, okay, the house lease expired, got rid of that. It wasn't even that expensive though, compared to like the New York house. And then Chris got the Miami house for the 2K guys. That was hella expensive, but they didn't put any content out and they had to be like micromanaged. And I was like, what the fuck? Get your shit together. And then I got told like 2 days before Overtime actually released all of them that they were going to get released. Like I didn't know that they were going to get released because I was trying to like proactively fix their problems. And then they got rid of all those guys because they never put out any content. They never uploaded. And then the New York house, the lease is actually expiring soon. So we're getting rid of that. I'm still looking into another potential house, maybe with RBK, because I've been speaking with Joel. But it just has to make sense because every investor, every company, every sponsor, they're like, holy fuck, look at FaZe Clan. Holy fuck, look at 100 Thieves and look at what they're doing, right? Like, I had a friend that used to work at Optic Gaming. They were paying Courage 30,000 plus a month.
Really?
30,000
For casting?
I believe it. No, just for existing on the brand.
Yeah.
He was a caster, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was a content creator. Like he was a.
He's a content creator,
Yeah.
right?
No,
So
dude,
like,
just to exist on the brand, 30K, bro. And that's pretty standard of like huge creators like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Courage wasn't that huge. I guess back then it was a bigger.
No, dude, no. He was big in
He's
the
decent?
first year of Fortnite. He got fucking big, and he was still in Optic. He was in Optic for a long time before he
Was he?
Yeah.
He was on Optic for that long?
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, Optic just went under like a fucking year ago, and
Yeah.
Fortnite's been out for almost 3. It's been 2.5 years.
I didn't know
So he
Courage was on
on-
it. I thought Courage became like a free agent
No.
as soon as Fortnite started.
Second half of 2019. Second half of 2019.
yeah, well, 100 Thieves only existed for like 2 years. You know, the first
I
year
kept
they were
up with
just
100
getting their
Thieves.
shit
Yeah,
together.
yeah. I kept up with him
Right.
because I used to watch
So,
Nate
like-
Shot like avidly
Yeah.
every day.
And 100 Thieves was made to enter into the LCS
Hmm.
initially. Obviously, they had their merchandise and like other things that were like core of their business that they had. But it didn't come into existence until they were applying for that LCS spot. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, how much do you think 100 Thieves is paying Courage? How much do you think 100 Thieves is paying for
He's
Valkyrie,
bigger. now.
Brooke.
Sure. Yeah.
Nico now? Right. So, if 100 Thieves is paying this much for those creators and they have a house, right, in LA, like how much do you think every month they're spending? My guess is probably like upwards of $1 million just for like the house.
A month? What?
Yeah.
Oh, like for the
No.
people in the house? No.
People, the house.
Oh,
Dude,
I
house
thought you meant the
and,
house.
like-
I was like, what?
What do you have? You have
It's a pretty-
Courage.
You mean like total expenses
Yeah.
per month, dude? Yeah, I would. Oh, easily. Wait, 3, 6, 9, 12. Dude, I'd say between 100 and a quarter million.
Dude, as an owner
sure.
slash manager, what do you think about Nico?
You mean 100K to a
100
quarter
Thieves Nico.
million?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh yeah, per month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100K to a
that
quarter
makes
million.
sense. Not a
Remember-
million.
because if you're thinking, Courage got 30K from Optic
Courage-
back when he wasn't even.
Courage probably gets
hit
100 grand a
now.
month. He's probably on a
No, no, no,
1.2 mil.
I'm saying 3, 6, 9,
I'm
12.
pretty
15.
sure-
That's $150,000 in just 30. If each of them got 30K, which is just speculation,
Nah.
obviously, because I'm sure it's a
Brooke
sliding
does
scale.
not make
All
30K.
speculation.
Courage has
Brooke-
shares. Courage has shares.
Brooke-
100%.
And
bro.
Brooke
Right,
doesn't
right,
make
I'm with
30K.
I'm with you, but you just said that Courage makes 100K, so it's a sliding scale.
100%,
I'm just saying,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
On average, if each of them got 30K,
Makes sense.
that's 100. That's 150K a month plus however much the house costs.
I
plus
wouldn't say a
living expenses.
mil.
But that's just
No,
for
no,
salary.
I'd say
No,
half
I
a
said-
mil,
I
a
said-
little bit
I said-
under probably.
No, I said they're probably between $100 to $250,000 a month.
I
That's what
said upwards.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so
But
if they're
that's for
spending,
that. I mean, they also have their own facility. They have all the
Yeah,
other teams. For
yeah.
sure, they're definitely spending over $1 mil a month
Yeah,
on
but
everything.
sponsors are huge. Cash App, bro.
Oh, for sure. Oh, Cash App
like
pays for the
a
house.
trade, man.
Cash App pays for the house.
Bro, you know what's crazy?
So-
Hantao, real quick.
Yeah.
So we were in talks with this agency a while ago for the Jug Squad, and they're trying to get us in talks with PayPal, and we had a deck made, and we talked to them and this and that, and they had pretty reasonable deliverables, but then like the whole thing with Turner and FaZe happened, and that kind of turned off a bunch of investors and shit. So it was just kind of like all in a weird gray area. But dude, one dude, the craziest thing is if you can get one financial firm investor, it's over. Like you fucking win. You know
What do
what
you mean?
their biggest investor probably is? The people that throw the most money at them, 100% Cash App, because
of course.
their business is money, bro.
Wow, Edwin, you're really
they have
smart.
no-
For somebody
they
who's
have
been
no-
so long in the industry,
they
I didn't know
have-
you'd be this smart.
bro. I mean, Arab, shut the fuck up. One and two. I'm just saying when the item you're selling is other people's money, and you're just like making like, you know what I'm saying, all they do is spend money. That's all they do. Like all they
Yeah.
do is market. That's all they have to do, right? So PayPal pays a fuck ton for like pretty reasonable deliverables to like it would have been the Jig Squad at the time. So I can only imagine how much Cash App is paying them, who actually have like all crazy Jug Squad
Uh-huh.
level fucking accounts. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is probably wild. They get so much money from them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Compound, bro. It's
Yeah.
huge.
And then like FaZe Clan has their house as well. They have the 2 mansions.
Do they have
and
two
then
still?
moved-
They have one now, right? They
No,
got rid
the
of the
other's
one.
hype house.
Yeah, it's now.
yeah, it's a TikTok house now.
Fucking TikTok.
Yeah. So, you know, every investor and sponsor comes into the space and like sees this grand illusion of gaming, and they're like, holy shit, I want to be like that too.
Right.
And they don't understand like how to actually get there, and they're just like, let's get a house,
Yeah.
let's
yeah.
do
yeah.
this.
Right.
Right, and then they just get like fucked.
I think it
Because
goes.
they
I
have
think the
zero
thing goes
idea.
back to, you know, like these older investors got to understand that you're smarter than them and let you have that
Mhm.
creative freedom, right? FaZe Clan was built off these kids. These kids just
Yeah.
fucking around making content together, and they built this empire. You know what I mean? And 100
Yeah.
Thieves too. 100 Thieves was this kid who was a fucking superstar that said, "Hey, I want to start a team. I know what I'm doing. You know, maybe I don't
Exactly.
fully know what I'm doing. I got to learn
With
as I do it. That's
connections.
why it took a year, right? But
Mhm.
it's built off that. It's built off people. Hastro, Team Envy, right? Hastro was a competitor in Call of Duty as well. He built
Mhm.
Team Envy. Like most of these successful teams are people that were competitors
Hex.
and have been in it. Hex, right? Like all these people. I don't know if Hex was a competitor. I think he just
I
started
mean,
with
he
content.
was in
No.
the.
I think he just started out with content with Optic, and then just like Hex was the first to innovate content for sure. But like it's people that started out at the beginning of this industry, and the industry it's so young too. Like this
Yeah.
this got so far to go. Like
He just started.
the other day I was streaming with a girl on streamer giving life advice, and some kid was saying he made 10K off CS:GO, and now he's made a little bit off Fortnite, and he doesn't know whether to go full on or go to law school. And I was like, how much you made off Fortnite? He's like 10K. I was like, first of all, you made 10K off CS:GO. That's way harder to make than any other game. Like 10K off CS:GO, and you've made 10K off Fortnite. That's pretty good too. You might as well, after you're done school, see if you go this full content grind and can make a career for yourself, rather than go straight into law school, hate your life for the rest of your life. Like you're not sure you actually want to go there. It's for your parents, and fucking
Yeah.
just take it, bro. Like this industry's not going anywhere. And she looked at me. She's like, "What do you mean? Gaming could be gone in 5 years? Like this."
Oh yeah.
I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Like it's not going anywhere in 5 years. Like it just started, bro. We're at the
In five-
fucking
in 5
legs, bro.
years- bro. In 5 years, I better be able to slide on a helmet and fucking anime, bitch, bro. I swear to God, in 5 years, dude. It better be like that.
Arab's gonna
But
start
it's gonna be
another
harder.
pandemic.
It will be harder. It will be harder, a lot harder, because every single
Because there'll be
fucking
more
person on
people
Earth
for sure. Yeah.
is gonna stream.
Right.
Like
Yeah, so that's why building a platform now is a pretty good move. And what was I gonna say? Going back to what we were talking about, like the houses and like nobody making content. Can we talk about how fucking stupid that is? How the fuck do you get a 6 spot in a giant mansion with all of your friends with the sole purpose of making one goddamn video a week, and you can't fucking do it, dude? I swear these
no
kids are
fucking
brain dead.
structure.
Dude, you know what it is, bro?
I agree.
I think Hantao, that these kids get signed to orgs or signed to teams and this and that, and it's like maybe their first job or their second job ever, and they start
Yeah.
making $4,000 a month, and they think that that's how life is, and they don't understand that to make $4,000 to $5,000 a month in the regular world, the real world, you have to be a fucking executive. You know what I'm saying? Or like at least a higher
Well,
level management.
they also don't understand 4 to 5 grand is nothing on the higher scale of things. 4 to
Well,
5.
Yeah,
My
well,
brother
my-
spends
dude.
literally over like 30 grand a month.
No,
just
I know,
to fucking,
but
just even like pay his employees, not even his company running, just to pay his employees.
bro. But they're not business minded. What I'm saying is these
Dude.
kids get 4 to 5 grand a month, and then they're like, oh well, you know, I guess it's all like this, and they don't understand that like if they don't grind this out and make this do well, they're gonna have to go get a real fucking job. Remember all the times, I'm not gonna say his name, but we talked to Homeboy about like, dude, you need to grind. You're not doing anything for this team who's paying you a fuck ton of money a month, and then like we're like, you're gonna get kicked, and then lo and behold, he gets kicked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he's like, I want to grind again. But dude,
And then yeah,
listen,
it's like
you said something the last podcast, last episode, bro, Edwin. You said, you know, if you're doing this full time, I mean, it's only fair that you work at least 40 hours a fucking week minimum. You know what I mean? Because it's a full time job, so you should be
Yeah.
working the hours.
dude,
So
yes.
if
yeah.
you're 4K a month and you just fucking play 2K with your boys, you know, you just fucking you don't grind because you're sitting on your 4K and you're satisfied. That's the thing. That's the problem, is that they get signed and they're satisfied, but you can't be satisfied in this
yeah.
fucking business.
Yeah, so for the other side of the coin is like, I think they see too much success and then they don't understand how to utilize that,
yeah.
because like we're harping on 16-year-old kids, right? Like when I was
Yeah.
16, dude, I was working at McDonald's. I didn't know shit.
100%. Right. Exactly.
So for them to be like making 10 to 50K a month, like how much do you think Tico is making? Right?
Yeah.
Kid probably
yeah.
has 1 million supporter creator users.
Yeah.
Space Tico? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Tico.
no, the fishy on me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tiko.
Yes.
I don't know who that
Right.
is.
Yeah.
He gets
Yeah.
like millions of views a video, right? And he
Yeah.
uploads a lot, you know? So how much money do you think he's making? Like he's still grinding, right? But when kids like when they're making that much money and they're like, holy shit, what do I do with all this money? Because their parents don't teach you about money, right? Like your parents don't usually teach you and be like, yeah, you should save long term. Here's how you should do stocks. Right here, I'm gonna open up a bank account so you can get that compounding interest. Like they don't know about shit like that, right? Because their parents are probably 9-to-5 workers who don't understand what gaming is and like
Exactly,
how
right,
much
right.
money you can make in gaming. And for them, seeing this much success, they're like, holy shit, I'm gonna buy some Gucci shoes and Gucci bags and
Yeah.
you know,
No,
a satchel
I'm with you,
or
dude.
something.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I completely agree. I'm just saying that I think it's
Yeah.
it's pretty ignorant to get to that level of success and just like hit yourself with a plateau because they're doing it to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
But-
They get there and then they don't. It's kind of like what we were just talking about, how like a big org will get a huge player and then just sit on him and not actually like pimp him, like we were talking about. Like, dude, you got to take this time that you're on this team and making this money and capitalize the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? Kids don't do that.
Bro,
But whose fault is that? Oh, okay, go ahead.
you go ahead. No, you can ask your question.
Okay, no, but I was like, whose fault is that? You know what I mean? Like, you put a kid, right? You give him 4K a month and he doesn't grind. Is it your fault because you lack of judgment? Because at the end of the day, bro, like, who is putting this guy in this situation? It's you. So like,
It's not your
I feel
fault.
like
I
No, you
think
don't think so?
in my opinion, well, like you said, first of all, it's young kids, right? They don't understand how big of an opportunity they have in front of them, and that they're gonna look back 5 years down the road and go, "Wow, I really threw this away. Like, I really could have been set for the rest of my life doing what I love, but instead, I decided to be a lazy fuck." And I think the second one is a lot of these kids, that's their max goal, get signed, right? So when they hit that goal, they get comfortable. There's nothing else that they want. They just want to be known as this professional player for TSM or this professional player for 100 Thieves, so they could, you know, be like those role models they had growing up. But they don't want to be the biggest fucking entertainer. They don't know that to stay on top, you have to consistently make content or you know what I mean? So it's like they don't know that. Like, I hit my fucking, you know, I have mini goals, but I have this big goal of I want to sell out fucking arenas of whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the biggest fucking esports entertainer in the Middle East. Like, there's goals there that I'm not stopping till I get. And then when
dangerous goal, but
and then when I get there, I'm sure there's gonna be another goal. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even about money. It's just about entertaining the biggest audience possible. And you don't fucking stop. Like, I'm not stopping just because I got signed. I'm not stopping because I hit fucking. You know what I mean? Like,
to put it into perspective, I think the only thing that needs to be said is like, think of how many years esports has been around in gaming, right? Over 10 years, because it started back in like Halo, Call of Duty, and think of how many names you actually know,
that have been there on top since then.
Yes. Think of how many pros are here. Think of how many content creators are still relevant, right? And think of how many years this industry has been around so far. And that really puts into perspective, like, all these iterations of people that play and then they're like, yeah, I'm done. I can't play anymore. I can't make content. Then they just like fade out of existence from this industry.
Well, it's the same in sports too, even, right? You have the Michael Jordans and the LeBron Jameses, and then you have the fucking, I can't even name them. You know what I mean? Like, you have the Yao Mings. What does Yao Ming do? Does he still play?
He played for the Rockets. I don't think he does. I think he retired. I think, dude, the thing is, relevancy is such an uphill battle. If you're not growing, you're dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, genuinely, like, you'll have like crazy spurts on my Instagram where I'll grow like by 1,000 or 2, and then like I won't grow for 2 months. That entire 2 months, like it just like starts ticking down, and then like eventually I hit another one, it'll go up.
Yeah.
But like if you're not growing, you're dying, bro. That's straight up.
The way
that
I
is
put it, is how I always, especially when people want motivation and like they ask
Yeah.
me for advice, because they know like I'm not really stopping. A lot of people will ask me like, Arab, how do you stay motivated? A lot of people in entertainment will quit on their first
Slump.
decreasing numbers, or on their second, or on their third. But in entertainment chat, it goes, you go up, you have these big spurts, and then it slows down, and it's 2 steps down, and then it's 3 steps up again, and it's 2 steps down, and every time your next high will be higher than your previous high, but your next low will also fucking tear you apart because it'll be lower than, you know what I mean? Like people will have these big spurts, and then they'll have a slow 2-3 months, and they'll be like, wow, I need to quit, like this is not gonna work out.
Did you see
Yeah.
Chica's tweet?
Huh?
Did you see Chica's tweet? She was like saying that she streamed for like around 4 years, and like towards the end, she was literally asking people like to feed her because she couldn't feed herself, and she was about to quit. And she put the picture of the guy like that turns back the diamonds that are right next to the, you know, like the guy that's mining. And she's like, I was about to quit, but I didn't, and then out of a sudden I just started growing, and
Right.
it made me.
It's a lot of peaks and
crazy.
valleys, bro. Like I
Yeah.
was, I mentioned the Jig Squad channel, and like, dude, sometimes like we'll have months where we're like hitting 20 million, 30 million views, and then like we have months where it's like we hit 1 million or 2 million, like just, and like we're actually like still trying. Like it just happens like that, bro. It's peaks and valleys. You gotta roll with the punches, and dude, I bring it up every once in a while. I don't bring it up a lot. Heel Mike, I'm sure you know who that is. He said something a long time ago when we used to play together. He goes, he was like, man, he's like, don't let your 80 viewer Thursdays ruin your 200 viewer Sundays. And that's some shit that stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I think about that often to this day.
Right. And fuck, I was gonna say something. I lost it.
It's okay. I wanted to ask if we can actually like close this subject. We can, if you want, or we could keep talking about it. But I was about to ask, what do you think about 1%, bro? That shit was like, dude, I don't know how rich these guys are, but like fucking mansion, Lambos to each people, like that's insane. Like
you fake the hype, and then eventually you'll.
Yeah, what's gonna happen? Because like every day Kiwi's fucking tweets who wants to join 1%, but I don't see anyone like who wants to, like, it's impression farm, but like I know
Nobody's gonna join
1%. I think it's gonna be kind of like a friend group.
Yeah.
Because to make a team, there's just like so much, right? And teams exist to hire influencers to build the brand for them, right? And if they already have a platform, why do they need to bring on other people?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna hype themselves up and keep telling people to join and sell merch and essentially scam people. And then they might have like a little academy where they bring some kid in to visit the house. But like,
store.
Like if Tfue and Jug made a brand and they just called it something and was like, let's sell some stuff for this brand, like they already have big platforms that they can sell for themselves, right? Whatever they're doing is just like adding to it, but it's like a percentage to their overall, right? Because they already have a platform.
Yeah. Right. I remember what I was gonna say. You guys also got to know, like, if you're watching this, don't think that your first game is gonna be your game. Like, my first rodeo wasn't what blew me up. Like, I had 1.8K on Twitter for fucking 4 years straight. It was barely growing. I literally seen, because I used to work for Scares, I literally used to hunt Juke Squad drama so I could get paid. With fucking
rat.
I literally used to rat on Edwin, and now we're fucking best friends. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, they get in drama, I'm sitting there writing essays to my boss so he can make his next drama video.
He's like brown kid punched old lady
in trampoline park. You know what I mean? Like, and then like it's not your first. I literally witnessed my friends become million subscriber YouTubers, multiple of them, like over 10. In front of my eyes, part of the same community. I didn't get my break, and then eventually, I started playing Fortnite. I was streaming, and I started to hit it off. And then now, like, I'm nearing their level that they hit years ago, you know. So it's like it takes time. You don't build this over one thing, and you refine your content over time too. Like you look at my YouTube videos that are privated from 5 years ago. I have Middle Eastern skits because when I first started YouTube, I was inspired by FouseyTube, out of all people, and now he's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like over time, you build shit. So don't expect guys to just blow up over time. Like if you're actually an entertainer at heart, you'll keep doing shit until you make it. So
And don't bro, and that's really important. Like everyone, pretty much all the big Fortnite streamer, they all took a fucking hit on the viewership when they switched to Fortnite. But they're the ones that weren't scared. They weren't they didn't get comfortable with their 300 viewers playing PUBG. They're like, okay, I'm gonna get 50 viewers playing Fortnite. And look at Cypher. Look at, you know what I mean? Like that is Cypher playing For Honor. But like what I'm saying is, you have a community, and if you really think you can grow in another game and you really you're passionate about it, like go for it. Like you gotta get viewer hits. Like viewer count is fucked up, dude. Like it's hard sometimes.
Bro, the other thing is too is like insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Bro, if you have streamed the same thing for the last 2 years, 3 years, and it's like not going anywhere, or like you see just like a plateau, like maybe you should consider a different sort of content.
but it doesn't have to be that. It could be that that same thing that they're trying over and over again isn't the content, it's the professionalism of it, or you know, like the lack of
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So don't think that you have to switch games. You might have to upgrade your fucking gear or etc.
Yeah, or change the way you play it.
Right.
This and that. Yeah. Or like, you know, exactly. No, I mean, dude, it's such a, there's so many variables to what can and can't make you succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think. I have actually one really important question.
I have 2 questions before the last one.
Out of all this, are your parents proud of you now?
I think they're still a little bit confused. At the end of the day, I think the only thing that the parents want for you is for you to make a living.
I agree. Right.
Because especially Asian parents, because like didn't grow up in like a Caucasian household or like other types of households. I think Asian parents especially, like they push you so hard is because they've been through like shit.
For sure.
Right. A lot 100%, of shit. And,
bro.
If they understand what it's like being broke, if they understand what it's like being poor, then they want you to have a better life.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. 100%.
And then the only thing I had to, like when I first started working in gaming, like I was like, I want to take this risk because I don't know if working in chemistry is going to make me happy, but I'm going to be making money and I'm going to be living by myself for, you know, a little while. And my parents were like, okay, if you fail, you can come back and you can get a job.
Right.
And then they still didn't believe in me, but they're like, you know, if you fail, you know, you have somewhere to go at least.
Right.
And then once I shown them like my actual first paycheck and I was like, hey, you know, I'm making a living now doing this, then they were like, okay.
Right.
They didn't understand and they were like trying to understand. Not including outside of college, a year and a half to 2 years.
Right. So what?
Okay.
You were 24?
I don't remember, dude.
Yeah. I remember because the first moment I heard I'm proud of you from my dad, like I literally I was fucking crying the next day. The next day I was on my way on a plane to a vacation and I was fucking literally tearing up. Like my dad finally, like he would come into my room every day disappointed, bro. He'd open that door after work. I'd have come home from school and I'd be streaming and he'd look at me and go, are you playing? Well, he doesn't have that big of an accent. He's like, are you playing? And I'd look and I'd turn around and be like, I'm streaming. And he just like, you could tell the disappointment in his eyes. And I'd, you know, it would ruin my mood. And then I'd come back.
Yeah.
Because like, at the end of the day, it's just making your parents proud too. Like they obviously just want what's best for you, but they don't know that this is an industry that's about to be booming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they didn't have this industry. They were in the generation of like,
scary for them.
They were in the generation of like dial phones and like I still remember dial up, you know?
The way my dad puts it is like if he goes back to Lebanon, imagine his dad asks him like, so what'd you go to America for 10 years to do? And he tells him, you know, I play, like, let's say he plays baseball. He goes, yeah, I hit a ball and that's what I do. I play ball. And his dad's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, I work my ass off gardening every day, so
Yeah.
you can do this. And then like now it's even another step. Like, imagine you go and you say, I play on fucking games. Like, I play games for a
Yeah.
living, you know?
Yeah.
so-
So they just want what's best, and they don't understand it, but they accept the fact that like, you know, I can make a living by myself.
Right.
And now they're only worried like, oh, are you working out? You know, are you getting enough exercise? Are you eating okay? You know, stuff like that. So it's not like,
Bro, the first time
Growing.
I have third world country parents too. Like my parents are, I'm first generation here, but dude, the first time my parents ever had an idea of how big what I was doing with my friends had gotten was when I showed them a picture of us on America's Got Talent next to Simon Cowell. They were like, "What the fuck?" Like my dad knows who Simon Cowell is. My dad doesn't know a lot of people, so he
right.
was like, "Holy shit, I know who that is. That's crazy." And that was it.
Yeah.
yeah.
What are your questions, Edwin? Yeah, two
Oh, so
questions.
my first question was, do you think that running a team with a lot of players is better than running a team with less players? If that makes sense. Like-
I think it depends on the state of your team. Because there's always like chicken and egg of quantity and quality. Like if you had a clicks on your team, then you don't need necessarily other people. If you had a Booga, right? But if you don't have access to like talent like that, then you can make up for it by just having quantity.
That's an interesting.
So
interesting
I
way to
think it
look
really
at it.
depends on the state of your team and like where you are and how much you can actually get out of the community. Like let's say RBK, right? Like I don't think RBK would be able to sign somebody like Clicks, right?
For sure.
I don't think E11 could sign somebody like Clicks.
Right.
So together, like RBK signed you when you were still at like I think 50 to 100 viewers.
I signed to
remember,
RBK
yeah.
when I had, I think, around 100. It was
Yeah.
November, December squads time. But
Before partnership.
yeah, it was before partnership. I think I had around maybe 80 to 100.
Yeah, right. So it's like it really depends on the situation of the team and like where they are in terms of financials, cloud equity, how big of a platform. Like 1%, they can just pick up whoever they want because they have the clout,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
for a team like BBG, they probably paid out the ass for
Oh
everybody.
yeah. Oh, 100%. They have to.
Oh,
They have
right.
to. Yeah.
So it's like they don't want to join BBG unless they're getting paid a lot. But then it's like the big people like Clicks or like Tfue, if you ever potentially signs a team, but like they would want, you know, something that's really high quality.
Yeah. Turner's wanting 51% of any team is what he's asking for. I'm just playing.
I mean, that would make sense either way.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Not
100%,
51%, but like 20%. You know what I mean?
He
Of
just
like a
wouldn't.
team or whatever,
He
or some
just,
shit.
he just would never. At
I
this
don't
point,
think
bro,
Turner needs to join a team.
No,
Like it's
Turner's never
Yeah.
joining a team again.
it's dumb. It's
Yeah.
Ninja was on LG, dude.
why build somebody else's brand.
Let me be the first to say that he's never joining a team again. But
Yeah.
okay, so that was a good answer to that question. It's just context. It's just like, you know, current state of team, available budget. Yeah, that makes sense. Because you know, there's a lot of teams, man, that I see like pick up fucking everyone and their mom, and they don't offer anyone anything, and it's just kind of like, well, fuck, dude, why do I want to be like? And no, dude, I don't want to like bring up like Soar or whatever, but they were doing that for a while. They just picked up fucking everyone, and I was like, dude, like, who are these
Yeah.
people? Like, how can like a team manage and run a community of which like I'm sure no one knows anyone? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like Ghost picked up a hell of a lot of people.
yeah, and like,
No,
yeah, that's like a more recent example of that shit where it's like, you know, why wouldn't you have like a focus SEAL Team 6 of like known creators that are going to, you know, be on point and focused
and that you build like a hype house around.
instead of
Yeah.
having 30 to 50 players that all fucking don't do anything for you, that just like wear your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the
because communication
that was-
structure is important. And
that was
if
kind of
you
a-
have 50 players. Yeah.
yeah, that was just kind of my question as far as like,
Yeah.
if you think like having like a more focused team,
Yeah.
smaller is more intelligent than
Yeah.
having a bigger team. But I guess it just matters on, like you were
Yeah,
saying, like cloud equity is kind of the thought here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Bro,
when
it's like-
we did the recruitment challenge, like we picked up a lot of people, and people were memeing like, "Oh, look, another introducing video," right? But like we had to do it. I had to do it in order to find those like key people, like Spade, Tweaks, right?
Right.
Like I had to pick up all these people to find those two guys.
Right.
You throw a bunch
know-
of shit at the wall and see what sticks. You know, it's a numbers game at that point. My other question was, so when you build a deck for a team or a business,
Yeah.
how do you just email people to approach them? Is it like a cold call situation, or like how do you approach potential sponsors?
Good question.
Depends on your relationship. Like
I'm saying with no pre-existing one.
no pre-existing one. I think in-person events is probably the best bet.
Yeah.
Because then they see you in person, they're like, oh, this kid's not a psychopath.
Yeah.
They don't look like they're gonna kill somebody. You know, they're cleaned up or they look decent, presentable.
So not everyone.
And
First time I ever
Yeah,
saw you in
everyone looks
person,
fine.
I was like, this is the evade guy, and now he's trying to give me
Yeah.
fucking mice out of a bag at TwitchCon.
yeah,
You were walking around giving
I-
away fucking mice and keyboards and shit for a video.
Yeah.
I don't think we've never met in person, have we, Hantao?
no, we haven't.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you in person either. Hey, were you at
Yeah.
World Cup?
No, I didn't go because
okay.
there's another event I had to go to.
I think that's the only time I've ever seen you in person. And
Yeah,
we weren't even friends. We became friends after what? Twitter. Just fucking around on Twitter.
Yeah, no filter Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
The dark side. So for sponsors, you have to think about their side because they're getting like hundreds, if not thousands, of emails of like not even teams. We're talking like 20
Sponsor-
viewer.
Sponsor my Instagram
Streamers.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're talking influencers. Like, hey, I have 20 viewers. I would love to get a product to try out, right? And they're like, okay, so we have 100 emails. Which one do we want to go with? Because like each of them could be a risk, right?
Right.
Like if Arab sends somebody an email like, hey, I have 1,000 viewers, that's like already an in because of your community.
Right.
But then they go to his Twitter and then they're like, holy shit, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Holy
'Cause,
shit!
like,
Look at all these N bombs. That's crazy. Yeah. Wow.
because like Playlism got denied partnership like 14 times because
Yeah.
Twitch actually checks your Twitter as a Twitch partner. They want to make sure that you actually have a positive influence, not just on
I made
Twitch.
it in. Shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but how long did it take though? Holy fuck! Probably
For me, it took
Twitter, actually.
no. For me, it took 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, but for Playlism, like it took him 14 applications.
Yeah. I don't think is he partner now?
Yes, he's partner now, but
was
like
was he partner because of Ghost or because he did it himself?
himself probably.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
himself.
But it's like in order to get those partnerships, you have to think about what other people are evaluating you at. And at face value, they click a link, they see your face, they see your stream, they see your numbers on Solino or like another Twitch website.
Dude, face matters so much. That's what I'm saying
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like they want to see that you're a human, guys. They want to
Not
see
a robot.
your face on your brand. They don't want to see
Yeah.
fucking a Fortnite image and then you posting more Fortnite images on your Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, listen, the ratio of skill to lack of face is so proportional.
yeah,
Where like if you don't have a face cam and don't show your face on anything and everything, like all your socials are all fucking the Renegade Raider, you better fuck everyone up, bro.
yeah, you
Like,
better,
you better blender people, bro. Like you better fucking embarrass people. If you don't, no one's gonna give a fuck about you, dude.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it's fact.
Yeah. So
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So you're competing against thousands of people for the same resources, right? It's like dating in a way. It's like, why would she date you versus dating somebody else who might be better looking, who might have more money, you know?
Right.
So it's like,
Because
what
my
do
cock
you-
is hard, bro. That's why.
Yeah, but
'Cause I
girls don't
haven't-
know about your dick size.
Because I don't have post nut click. Well, they
Yeah.
do if I send it.
Yeah,
A bit longer, we'll probably know as well.
Yeah, they don't end
And-
up like, oh, that's why I haven't gotten partner.
they
'cause
just send
homeboy's
back
in
this.
fucking jail. That's why.
Shut up.
Yeah, so you have to think about like what value you can offer them that other people can't offer outside of just the numbers, right? It's like,
How good is your head game?
I do this
Yeah.
amazing podcast. I do this, amazing stream or amazing video series.
thank
so
you.
it's reoccurring. It was just like me hypothetically,
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
saying
mean this one
something.
specifically.
Yeah, so you do a
Arab.
podcast. That's cool.
Oh, so you do a
I didn't
podcast?
mean-
Yeah.
I didn't mean it was amazing. I just saying like hypothetically, you
Yeah,
know.
So
yeah.
you're, so what you're saying is you're a racist.
Sure.
Oh yes, that's the
That's
Twitter
the clip, bro. That's what I was thinking too.
too. So
Um,
like,
And yeah, so for other people, it's like, they have so many things, and if you can offer them something that's like, hey, I'm gonna be talking in this episode, but it's gonna be like 20 episodes long, right? And Elgato just released their mic called the Wave, right? And you're
Isn't that
putting
what you have?
mic. No, I don't have the
No,
shirt.
Edwin, don't you have that?
no, I have
no,
the,
it just came out. It just came out.
I have the
Uh.
Rode USB Mini. This one just came out too, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I have this series and I'm going to be talking in this mic this whole series, and it's going to be on screen literally every video, right? Then it's like that's value.
Oh, we
You know.
could get a Shure sponsorship.
Dude,
And you'd all have
we should get
Shures.
sponsors.
I
Should get
already asked
sponsored.
them.
I'll
They
read.
don't sponsor anybody.
They don't.
No, I already asked
Smart.
them.
It's smart. I mean, the people are gonna want to buy their mic. It's the best on the fucking market.
And then I think no, it's not Blue. It's Audio Technica
Right.
only sponsors 8 gaming people on Twitch.
Yeah, but
HyperX
that doesn't mean
sponsors-
you can't be that. Doesn't mean you can't be that ninth.
There's some, the funny thing about like microphones like that, like companies like that, I don't think that gaming's even like that much of a blip in what they consider using their mics for. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
for
it's
sure.
not,
It's
not
not.
yet. Not yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, bro. Like my
It's
brother
mostly-
asked me what mic he should buy. Fucking sent him the Audio Technica, like the AT 2020, 220
yeah.
for his
It's a classic.
marketing company. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what good mic can I buy that's not fucking headset mic? And he buys that, and it's good enough for them. It's not like they don't need fucking Shures. They're not talking in there all day. They're just making like videos of courses, and it's
Yeah.
great. It's good enough.
Yeah, for BenQ and like chair companies, they probably make the most money just selling their monitors to
Right.
like corporations
Right.
and schools. So
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even think like that. Like that they fucking buy BenQ monitors. Like when I think of BenQ, I think, wow, like this is what I was told was the best monitor when I first bought a 144, and like they're
Yeah.
gaming.
But
But
when I think of BenQ, I think about this like cheap ass monitor. It was like $30, and I have all these schools. I have like the BenQ is so old too. Like,
Yeah.
Alright.
No, I see what you mean. They've been around for a long. Wait, I got one more.
Okay.
Wait, did I ask mine too?
you did ask your two.
No, I did. I did
two
ask mine too. I did ask mine too. Never mind.
Do you want to ask the question that we always ask? That's the question.
Do I want to ask him it?
Yeah.
No, what I will do though, while you ask him it, is
Why
I'll
do I
do
have
this.
to
in the
ask
ba-
it every
I'll do
time?
this. I'll do this in the background while you ask
All
it.
right. We got to figure out a new question to ask.
Why,
Just
'cause you
because
feel
it's
bad?
just
You
because
feel
it's
bad
brand.
asking it.
Yeah,
asking
it's like
it
I've
to
asked it so
Hantao?
much. No, I've asked it so many times. It's just like, at what point does it get boring? You know what I mean?
Never.
yeah, I feel that. I'm pretty sure like at this point, people are like that watch all the episodes. They're not like, oh, I'm so hyped for the last question. They're like, oh,
Right.
like it's either one or the other.
You know?
Yeah,
We'll
we
find a
should
new
try to-
question. It doesn't have to be brand.
Yeah.
We don't have to force the brand risk. We're already brand risking the fact that we are socially we talk about the taboo issues. Anyways,
Yeah.
I guess he wants me to ask the question.
Damn,
Hantao.
you just fucking. All right, then don't.
Can
fucking
I ask it?
Yeah,
Don't
go ahead,
ask
ask it, Dusty.
No, no one can understand what
Alright,
you
no.
fucking say much.
No, okay, okay, I'll try. And one day surgery are gonna get better. it's
So
That's how
shit.
Aram says
That's so
it.
shit. One day surgeries
One
are gonna
day-
get so good.
All right,
I go.
so good that you won't be able to tell the difference between a male transgender or a female transgender. So, do you see where we're going right now? Who's the best looking female you know? Like celebrity crush.
best looking celebrity?
Not your mom.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
What the fuck? No. Right now that's relevant.
Just
Yeah,
Probably
favorite, bro.
Madison.
Madison Beer.
Madison Beer.
Okay, Madison Beer.
All right, so you're creative,
That's
right? So
popular.
close your eyes and just imagine Madison Beer with a huge cock. Okay, so that's the first question, right? There's Madison Beer with a dick, and now the best looking male celebrity. I mean, everyone's gonna say
Everyone,
Hugh
you can
Jackman.
appreciate, you know, like a good looking guy like Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman or like, you
Doesn't
know,
have
like
to be
Chris
your
Evans.
boyfriend or
Right,
your
right.
dad, you know.
But with
So basically, what
a
we're asking
vagina.
is who do you think is the hottest dude with a vagina?
Okay, no, stop. So now you have the hottest dude with a vagina and you have Madison Beer with a dick. Who are you going down on if you got to go down on one? It's a good question, huh?
That's a tough question.
That's exactly.
Probably Madison. Just
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
she's
There you
the
go.
higher male
Let's go,
figure.
bro. That's what we all
Yeah.
choose too, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Chick with a
Hell
dick
yeah.
for sure. Everything else is the
Yeah,
same. You
man.
know, you just gotta.
Dude, one time AD, bro. Oh.
Every time you say it, it just triggers me to say the story. So it's like, really, you know what's funny? You know what I can say about you? You always say that shit now. You always fucking trigger me into saying it.
Edwin,
Bro.
anytime somebody says chick with a dick, Edwin always tells a story about American Dad from one of our first episodes. Tell it. Go ahead. Tell it.
Oh my god! See, now you guys are baiting me to tell it, and then
It's been
guess what?
24 episodes, and
Next-
Casey was the
next-
third one. And he...
Next episode, you guys are gonna fucking do this again. and
Tell
tell
him.
me the first
Hantao. Hey,
episode.
wait. First of all, good choice, Hantao. Good choice.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I mean, dude, listen. I plan on going
Wait
to
till
Thailand
I send this to your
someday
mom and your dad,
anyways.
and they know that you said you would suck a dick. You're
They
fucking
already
dead.
know. How
They
do you think?
wouldn't care.
How do you think he got so far in the fucking industry, dude? Come on.
Yeah, Dan's got a
On my knees.
Dan's packing.
That's funny.
All right. Anyways, Hantao, where can people find you? What are your plans for the next few months? Fucking let them know, baby.
I want to make a better FaZe clan. That's my goal.
I like that.
Hey.
Good for you, bro.
And you can find me on Twitter at HANTAO. On YouTube is the same. Instagram just has 2 more S's.
Somebody took your Pornhub handle, right? They spelled it differently. HENTIE TAI.
Yeah. I don't know. It's some Japanese artist or something.
Okay. Nice. Hentai.
But
Okay.
yeah, OnlyFans, Reddit. You can find me all on there as well.
All the
Bro, can
links
I-
are in the description, guys. We're not gonna do an audio only this time. I just wanted you guys to hear everything you had to say. Hantao's actually a really smart motherfucker, bro. Like, good for you. You're
Bro.
fucking.
Appreciate that.
Bro, going off that, like last thoughts, I feel like if you have a YouTube channel and you like don't upload to it frequently, but you should just upload like general fucking business advice. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
Devin
'cause I'm
Nash.
sure-
That would be sick.
yeah, kind of like Devin Nash, but like Asian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you should like, dude, you know how many
That's-
kids probably
that's
have
a
no
great
idea
point.
like to like still about the fucking equity and why it's worth something sometimes and not other times. Like it'd
Yeah.
be cool to break that down more so than doing this.
Dude, I didn't even know
Yeah,
that
man.
until today. Like, that's what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah.
TikTok.
But I charge money. I charge money for that stuff though.
that's
Oh,
true.
So you,
But-
oh,
I
so
mean,
you're-
yeah, but on
you're-
YouTube you're monetized, so
yeah,
But
so you're a
you-
dickhead is what you're saying. That's
But you
crazy.
get monetized and you get, what's it called? You build your
Yeah.
brand and that whole community for your team, etc.
bro.
Like me, bro, I got offered by pro guides literally up to like $8,000 to $10,000 a month, probably average $5,000 a month to do my coaching on their site, to live
Yeah.
coach with them and make videos for them. And I said no. I'm not making
Yeah.
$5,000 off YouTube. I make like barely $350 a month off YouTube. And I said
Yeah.
no because that coaching is gonna build my brand in the long run, right? You know that. You know the long run game. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, also
So-
like just do what Arab does and don't actually tell them the real strats. Just tell them the fucking
the fake ones that don't work.
2019
Yeah,
strats.
yep.
Like tell them the strats that you want them to do, so that, like it
So that
makes
you
more room
win.
for you to actually do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scam them all,
All
like
right.
me.
So somebody should pay the players in Fortnite like minimum $10,000 a month. If you're not paying $10,000 a month, you're scamming your players.
Hell
Yes,
yeah, tell 'em,
let's
bro.
go,
Yes.
bro.
You hear that,
It's gonna go
RBK?
viral.
Speaking of which, bro, we got this guy. I'm not gonna name him, but anytime we're arguing and Inspires in the call, he'll fucking stop arguing. Like if he's starting to lose the argument, he'll go, "Inspire, aren't you the guy that signed Spades to a 20% contract during World Cup?" And we're like, what? Like, what is, like, yeah, what's wrong with that? You know? So,
Why do I-
anyways,
why do I feel like it's infamous? Just because he's always talking shit.
because it is infamous. So I said I'm not gonna name him.
I didn't even have to be there to know. I didn't even know.
sounded like infamous,
bro.
Anyways, guys, if you guys want to check out Hantao, all his links are in the description. If you guys haven't found out, we do also have it on Spotify. Spotify is free, so go listen to us there while you're fucking driving or chilling. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thumbs up.
We'll see you guys later. Peace.